Everyone knows that something is wrong with Donald Trump in the White House. A little bit insane in the membrane. People have these theories. Usually people say he's a narcissist. So to diagnose Donald J. Trump properly, you have to understand a little bit the fundamentals of psychology. It's like a wave, it's like a tree, and then you have these main structures of issues. And then you look at the main structure of the issue, and then you see the side. It's like a main river, and then you have these ways how that river flows, and then you can see the side rivers, and they're like different sub illnesses, and then you fine tune a man, right? So that's a little bit the psychological standard, right? So we're living in a narcissistic society. People have narcissistic tendency. That's the entitlement of general public. So in pop psychology, people tend to say, look, the men are narcissists, and the women say, and the men say the women are narcissists. So everyone is just calling each other narcissists, and that's because that's the entitlement in the society. So people don't have self-reflection, and that is part of a narcissistic personality disorder. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Donald J. Trump, who's threatening to take Canada, threatening this, and changing the name of that, behaving a little bit like a psychopath would, right? But it's not really a psychopath. So Donald Trump has these tendencies. So I'm trying to show you the tendencies, drawing a painting of the a mental world, emotional world of Donald J. Trump. So what it really is a Napoleon-complex, which is a term from Adlerian psychology. It is originally like a short man's issue, a short man feeling inferior. So in a sense, it's an inferiority complex. So a man with Napoleon-complex, what that means is that the man will go into a social setting, and the social setting will force that man to behave in a certain way, to exert dominance. So the individual with the Napoleon complex will enter a setting and see where the threats are automatically, because it's a disorder. It's not something done by the free will. It is the person is subjected to it. It's an illness, a mental illness. So the person enters the social settings and sees the center point of attention. There are the soccer players at the FIFA ceremony, the world championships. The attention is at the soccer players. And then Donald Trump goes there and starts showing the world. It doesn't matter where he goes, he is the top. He is on top, letting everyone know in the social setting there's no one more powerful here. So he forces all the lesser powers into being frustrated. So the same thing counts for threatening to take Canada. Canada is part of Commonwealth, and Commonwealth is under the British monarchy. So Donald J. Trump is just showing the political landscape. He rules this. He is the top, forcing the British monarch to dress up with, authoritarian apparel to demonstrate that Canada is his quote-unquote territory. So Donald J. Trump is going to make the White House very majestic and greater than every other palace in Europe and stuff, because when Donald J. Trump enters Europe, yes, that's where I'm from here, he identified that there is something here that is not in the United States, which is called deep cultural complexity. You can be smart, fast, and the champion, but do you know how to express your sophistication through your philosophy? Do you have those icons? Can you express your complexity through your fashion? All kinds of sophisticated self-expressions. America is not strong at that. America is strong at performance, and Donald J. Trump, being that top figure in political power, understands that. So that Napoleon complex then forces him to use his resources to not get the poor starving junkie from the streets into the therapy. No, let's make the White House the Gold House. So you continually see in the behavior of Donald J. Trump the manifestation of what Adlerian philosophy calls the Napoleon-complex. And the odd thing is, that's a small man's problem. And Donald J. Trump is a big man in terms of size, and it's a inferiority complex. He feels small inside. Go like, America, I'm the president, but people don't respect us anymore, and I'm going to prove to the entire world that I am the greatest man on earth. A little bit that thing is going on inside the membrane of that man, and that's the. I don't want to use the word pathetic creature, but imagine you as a woman see a man in your neighborhood behaving like that. You would consider that a pathetic creature. The same thing counts for if you're a man seeing a woman instantly, always claiming the center point of attention. You would call that a pathetic creature. But because the man is on top of the pyramid, he can look down upon you and say, you are the pathetic creature, right? That Napoleon complex will make it happen. So I would just say he is a product of the system.